Hi there, I'm Jeff Gosling. I'm the owner of Precessional Effect Limited and an award-winning business coach. Hey, E, execution. Now that could be a topic on its own, so we're not going to spend long on it. But there's no point in all the planning, the mindset, the awareness, great decision-making, all the things we've been through, if at the end of it, you can't execute. So that's about tracking, measuring, adapting based on new evidence. So as a leader, execution. A few of the things we know we need to look at, right? The plan. When is it being done? By what is being done by when? What's the plan? Team. We know becoming increasingly great at having the best possible people doing whatever it is we just decided is going to increase the execution and the outcome. Okay. You've got people who are better than you at doing it. Many of you will have heard the word leverage from me a lot. Leverage is simply doing more with less. So how can you make sure that it's well executed such that it's not taking enormous amounts of resource of time and money? How can you reduce the amount of time and money in order to execute well? So for example, if I was going to be recruiting a lot of people, I'd want a really slick recruitment process, group interviewing, and then an induction process. Maybe all the core content is videoed, so I don't have to keep doing it again and again and again. And again, I'm not just here to sell Rick's services, but the person who wins the IT battle usually wins the war. I got that from Sir Clive Woodward, no less. So is there ways of systemizing it, either manually or using technology, so that you execute much quicker? The crucial reason I raise execution is actually the keyword accountability. Accountability. So I'd say it was along with blind spots, it's one of the major things that works. And you've all experienced it, and I experienced it through my coach. Ultimately, it's a massive blind spot to think that we can function without accountability as the owner or the boss of a business. Everybody needs accountability to succeed and perform at their best. Everybody. So if you're a human being, you need accountability. Crucially, so do your team. And a lot of leaders are uncomfortable, depending on their profile, on holding people accountable. Accountable, remember, has the word count in it, not just, oh, yes, they're doing a pretty good job. If you've decided something, you want those outcomes, what are those outcomes, and are you on track? Great leaders hold people accountable. They also ensure they are held accountable. Speak to all the top executives, Bill Gates, Brad Sugars, for those of you who know ActionCOACH, bought and sold 70 businesses, owns 13 and runs them without having to be involved in any of them. So he knows his stuff. He invented business coaching. He has several coaches. So this isn't about you must have Jeff. It's just about you must have accountability. Okay. And I said I'd leave environment to the end because it's so important. It's what this is about. As many of you know, it's critical to what I believe is important in business and in life. So if your iceberg, as we discussed earlier, is in hot water, you are in trouble. Environment is everything. The books you read, the family, the people that influence you, the people like today, the people that you listen to. I'm lucky, well, not lucky, I've invested, I've worked hard to build an amazing environment. I've got ActionCOACH, the guys at MindFlick, at Value Builder, I've got a client base, amazing people, my trusted partners, group of people that we all work together to help business owners, and they help each other. Environment is everything. So if you don't have a great environment, focus on that. It will influence everything, including your decisions. I think it was Einstein, before he did his theory of relativity, big network. I spent loads of time bouncing ideas around with people and he had peers in his groups. Okay, he didn't do it on his own. I mentioned family earlier. Very quickly, it can be a real positive. In business, they can also, I see a lot of challenge, a lot of the pressure comes from family. They see you working hard, they see you focused on something, and they're worried about you. That's fine, but maybe they don't really understand what it's like being a business owner. Again, good idea to have an environment of people that are just ahead of or around what you do, not dumping everything on your family or expecting them to come with you. They're there to benefit from all the hard work you're doing. So nobody succeeds on their own. Winning is a team game. It's proven in business, it's proven in sports. Well, it's in business. 80% of businesses fail within 5 years. The people that go out and get help from mentors, non-execs, directors, the people that go and get coaches, those people flip it around. In the first 5 years, they have an 80% success rate. Proven. Evidence. So it's very expensive to learn through our own experience. I certainly don't try and do that. So invest in having the right people around you and avoiding your stupid plans. Okay. So when you're looking at your goals for the year and the quarter, think, for this quarter, I need to be better at that. Who do I need to know or have around me? Who's my knowledge expert on that? Who can know more than I can? So I'm doing that at the moment in my marketing. I've got somebody, Paul, who knows far more about digital marketing than I do. So I get to learn, but also I have somebody accountable to do it better than I can. Okay, conscious of time. We're talking about community. Many of you know the vision for my business and what Precessional Effect is all about. I'm not going to go into that in great detail now, but you'll notice the emphasis on building a community of like-minded business owners. As many of you know, this is not contingent on you being a client. Register for events, download ebooks, engage. As I said, I've got an amazing network of it's taken me a lot of time and effort to build a trusted partners group, people that I know can help people, my clients predominantly, but anyone who needs help. Put yourself in that environment. Ask me what books to read if you want to know the experts in certain subjects. Come to events. Be part of my community. You're more than welcome. If you want to know more about that, of course, just book one of these half-hour slots. We can have a call. So just to summarize, success is built on mindset, and decision-making is a key part of that. And as you know, there's an A, B, C, D, and E of how to execute those things: the awareness, the bias, the clarity of goals, the decision-making process, and the speed of execution. Think of them as pieces of a jigsaw. It's when you combine them that they produce that springboard for a better mindset and making better decisions. Use a framework to improve your decisions consistently. Obviously, if you're working with me, it's easy. Just say, Jeff, I need help with this decision, and we'll go through it. And crucially, have a great environment. It will massively influence. You cannot flourish in a bad environment. So the central theme for this session was to demonstrate that mindset is the single most important factor in business and life as to whether you succeed or not. It drives your decisions. And the highlight of that problem is that your decision-making, our decision-making, if not practiced, is holding us back. Primarily because we're emotional beings that have a brain that was designed to learn and keep us alive. And it takes shortcuts and it's full of blind spots. You can read books on this. Many of you have read, the chimp paradox, for example. If on average you improved your decision-making by 100% from just doing gut instincts or going by your profile and biases to just understanding them and following the process, that's a much more than 100% improvement. And you took the action, you can succeed twice as fast. Pretty cool, huh? Get better at the core skill of decision-making, and even which other skills you need become better decisions. You don't waste time reading the books that you don't need. Highly leveraged. So, what are you going to do to develop a decision making? One final point before we wrap up with your learnings and your takeaways. Resilience. And by the way, if Jim Rohn is not in your environment, get him in your environment. Brad Sugar's guru, invented business coaching, and he's certainly one of everyone I know who gets on. Fantastic guy, one of the greatest business philosophers anywhere, sadly not with us anymore. But resilience, main attribute required for success. Every decision will not work out, even if you make great decisions and you go through a proper process. It's about understanding that you need to make calculated risks, knowing some will not work out in order to learn what will work at some point. You can only shortcut it so much by working with other people. But a good process enables you to assess it, learn, and bounce back. You can avoid the frustration of not moving by understanding actually you have moved, you haven't got to the next step, but you're halfway there because you now know what doesn't work. Bouncing back again and again and again. You know this, I know it. Speak to anyone who succeeded, they failed several times first. Maybe. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So today, as always, is about blind spots. And the blind spot today is around the mindset of making decisions and the process of making decisions. So I hope that I've highlighted a few for you so that when you come and see me, either in the half-hour sessions or with my client, that you can develop against those blind spots and get some help. So I'll come out of presenting mode, and now's the time to scribble down what you've taken from the last section and generally look at the notes from the whole thing. What resonated? What jumped out? I trust focusing on this blind spot has got you thinking. What action will you take? What's the biggest focus or challenge right now? Which topics would you like me to cover in future videos? If you'd like to get in touch, simply connect with me on LinkedIn. Email me or give me a call. If you'd like a complimentary blind spot call, you can schedule directly using the link in this slide. I'm here to help.